Aloha and welcome. In this lesson, we're going to be going over the the 4-digit 7-segment display, and we're going to have a lot of fun here, as always. So let's go ahead and take a look. Let me see here. What are our main pieces that we're going to use? We're going to have our usual suspects here. We've got the Pico, the micro USB cable. We've got the breadboard. We have our 74HC595 IC chip. We're going to be using it in the upright orientation again. We've got our 7-segment display. We're going to be using 8 of our 220 ohm resistors, and we're going to use a virtual boatload of jumpers. We're going to use as many jumpers as we can find. So about the component knowledge, well, this is a really interesting one. So we have a 4-digit or 7-segment display. It's essentially 4 of what we used in our last lesson. But in this one, we're going to be able to control them all. Again, we're going to use that IC to take our bytes and push them out bit by bit to this right here, and we're going to control it. But we're also going to be using 4 control pins for the anode side for our power, essentially. It's going to tell us which one of these digits we're lighting up. So the neat thing to know about this is we're not going to be doing them all at once. It's not like the first pin, second pin, third pin, fourth pin are all going to light. They're all going to just turn on at the same time. What's going to happen is the first one's going to go, then the second, then the third, then the fourth. Because this thing refreshes so quickly, the human eye can't see that it's going in order like that. It's going to look instantaneous, but it actually is happening in sequence there. So it goes into an explanation of that here, and it just shows the wiring diagrams and everything. And it talks about how our eyes can't really see the all of this. And here's more of the wiring diagram of the pins we're going to be using. We're going to be using control pins here to control the anode, the power side, and this is what it looks like. And this is, yeah, I'm not a big fan of putting in these resistors myself. I think that the pins are just too wonky, and yeah, it's a living nightmare. But anyway, we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing a lot of them. Here's our control pins, 14, 15, 16, and 17. We're going to be using 21, 20, and 18 again to control the IC chip over here. And then the IC chip is going to be breaking the bits out, and it's going to be sending it over here to the different parts of our 4-digit display. So let's get into the code. The code, what we're doing is we're setting up the communications pins, the COM pins, letting it know which one is going to be powered, or it's going to, when we get power on any one of these pins, it's going to signify which digit we're lighting up. And then this is the same thing from our last lesson. We're going through the 0xC0, that's 1, 1, 2 zeros, and then 4 zeros. That signifies the character 0. And we got 0, 1 through we got 0 through 9, and then we've got A through F, essentially a hexadecimal number. And then we're displaying let's see, let's scoot down a little bit here. This is showing kind of the code. It's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. And the code, if we look at it here, it actually explains a little bit down here. Not the greatest explanation in the world, but it still explains it. So we're going to make the, so we're setting up the pins on it, the 18, 20, and 21. Then we're going to make the digital display 0, 1, 2, 3. So we've got this LED display function. It's going to go through. It's going to go through our 4 digits, 0 through 4. So it's going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, and then each time it goes through this, it's going to say, "Hey, COM pin of I." So it's going to give us a COM pin of 0 through 3, and that's going to give us 17 through 14 here. And we're going to set it as the pin out. So we're basically saying, "Hey, this is going to be our communication. This is essentially the LED that we're wanting to light up." Then we do the chip shift out, and we're going to be taking the number of I. So we're going to go, and num is one of these, and the I, it's going to be 0 through 4. So we're getting the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3 in there. So it's just taking those three numbers. Then it's going to push those out. So then it's going to sleep it, and it's going to clear it. So it's going to do this over and over. So let's take a look and see what this looks like. Well, first of all, we have to go and set up this beautiful little diagram. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. I'm going to stop the share here, and voila, we have the screen. So let's go ahead and start looking here at the different parts. Let me see here. I'm going to move this over. Well, no, let's just go ahead and do this. All right, so we've got our chip back into regular orientation. We've got our four-digit segmented display here. So we'll just take this. And is there any special way they want us to do it? I think they want us to leave 3 open on the top. And then let's see, have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom. So let's try to mimic that as best as we can. So we're going to leave, is that 3 on the top? 4 on the, hold on, let's see. So yeah, it's going to be tight 3 on the top. But I don't think there's any way around that. And we've got this lined up. Ooh, 1 off of the, let's go ahead and pull this up and move it over just 1. And take a step to the right or left. Yeah, left. So that way we've got the pin lined up evenly on the numbers here, and that'll help us with our pins when we start stabbing away. All right, so let's start with the hardest part, in my opinion. Well, no, I think we should stay consistent to previous ones. Let's go ahead and start lining up our power and our grounds. So we're going to start with our first ground. So I'll go ahead and pull out a nifty neato little short black cable if I can find one. Okay, I've got one. So we're going to come over here and we're going to go from ground into the outer rail. So we're going to go ground here into the outer rail. And even though it's marked as positive, we know we're doing the opposite because our book for some reason has that opposite. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the 3.3 there and we're going to run that into the near rail. So we're going to take the 3.3 and put it right there into the near rail. And we're going to take it and put it over here. So we've got it all set up. I think that's set up. I've got light on there. All right, yeah, so that is good. So we've got that set up. That should be nice and happy. So now we're going to take another one of our shunts and put it into the well, actually, no, let's go ahead and continue along on the top. So on the top here, we're going to put in on the first pin, we're going to run from the first pin over here. Let's go ahead and put first pin, run this over into the near rail because we're using it the opposite of what we have it labeled as. So I'll set that up. And then we're going to go over on pin 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th pin from the left. We're going to go up to the outer rail. So 4th pin from the left. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4th pin, we're going to go into our outer rail, which makes sense because power's in the inner rail. So this is our ground. We could just stab that. Okay, we got it stabbed in. All right, now we're going to go with our, we're going to do another power one, which is going to run from the second to last pin. And I apologize for my shadows here in advance. It's just inevitable tonight. So let's go into the second. So our second one is right there. I'll put this into the near. There we go. So that's on the top side. That's all the power and ground we have on the top. On the bottom, we have 2 ground wires that we're going to run. So let me find us a couple of appropriate sized ground wires. Hold on just a second while I pop out some more. Here's one of them. So we're going to put this over here on the ground. In here, we're going to take this. We're going to run it from ground And we are going to stab that into the near. Go into the near one. Hold on. Oh, wow, that is weird. I just had a nice little fail whale there. So let's go ahead and put this in right there. I'm going to have to be careful stabbing that in. Okay, so we've got one going. Now let's take another one. See if I have another one. It's like using up all of my small black wires. All right, now we're going to go from the IC chip again. We're going to go from the last one on the bottom, the last pin on the bottom, and we're going to go into the near rail again. So near rail right there. All's happy. Okay, so now that we've got that done, we really need to probably start putting in our resistors over at the at our favorite little piece here. So I've got our resistors up there. So I'll go ahead and start grabbing resistors and try straightening these puppies out. Wow, look at my nasty shadows. I could put a light on this side, but I don't think that would help us much. But I'll go ahead and try to, let's see, I'll put this in. The first one needs to be over into, let's see, what pin? It's kind of hard to tell. They're parallax view here. So it goes into, I think, the 1, 2, 3, 4th pin, then one off the side. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th pin. Wow, that is really hard to see. So I'm going to pull it up just like this and put it in 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's going to go in right there. And then the other pin needs to go into one outside. It's not wanting to go in there. So we put it in right there. So let's see, I've got that on the 4th pin. And yeah, and one off to the side. Okay, so that is in properly. So yep, it's in there. Got it. Okay, so we've got that in. So now the second one that we want to do, let's go ahead and start straightening out some pins there. This is also going to be on the top. And this will be connecting. Let's see, where do we connect here? We're going to be connecting pin on the top. We're going to be in the second row up from the thing. Well, actually, let's do the one below it. So we're going to connect pin 1 to pin 1, 2, 3. Wow, this is hard to read. Pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to connect pins 1 and 5 here. So let's go in and hope that we get this right. But we're going to try it. Let's pull it up again. Take a closer look. There you go, pin 1 to 5. We're going 1. And I got 5 now. Not so much on the 1. So there. So we've got 1 to 5, I believe. Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1 to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is where that should go. That is interesting. Okay, so we're going to have it 1 to 5 there. Now the next one that we're going to do is going to go 1 up from there. So let's go ahead and take one and get this one straightened out a bit. So this one we're going to have going from pin 2 to 6, I guess that is. So we're going to shift 1 off of the one that we just put in. So we can just go by our ones over here. So I need to widen that stance a little bit there. So widen that up a bit. So now we're going to go into the second one here. We're going to go into one over from it. So that looks pretty good. I can just stab it in. Come on. So it's going in on the right, but on here on this side, it's not wanting to go in. So let's go ahead and play with that a little bit. See if I can, oh, there we go. Did I pull it out of the other side at the same time? Ooh, okay. I believe we've got it here. So let's make sure. So that's in pin 2, and then it goes one over from there. All right, so we've got those 3 on the top. So the top part is done. Now we've got to put in 4 on the bottom here. Or no, 5 on the bottom here. So this is where it starts to get a little bit trickier. We're going to have everything really close together. So let's go ahead and start on the right-hand side of it. We're going to be going number 2 through, see, 2, 3, 4, 5, is that 2 through 6? Let me double check. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, 2 through 6. So I'll go ahead and I'll pick this up so you can get a good view of it. Open that stance a little bit because that's a little bit too close together. So we're going to go, well, how many do they have open here? They have 1, 2, 3, 4 showing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, we're just going to be right up against it there. So we're going to go 2 through 6. Wow, that went right in. So let me just make sure. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 2 through 6. That was deceptively easy there. Now we're going to take the next one, which will go right below it. Gosh, look at all that hair on my hands. Ugh, look like an ape. All right. Here we go. Take this one. This one's going to go from the outside to 1 over. So this is going to be through 1 through 5, I guess. So let's go ahead and put this in 1 through 5. If we can get that stabbed in, can we stab it? And there we go. Wow. It's going so easy. I just know I'm going to be messing things up. There we go. So that's getting us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. All right. That looks correct. Now we've got 3 left. Just 3 left. How can it be this easy? Of course, me saying that means that this is going to go up in smoke. So now we're going to look at the other side. So this one, we're going to start 1 outside, and then we're going to go from 1 outside to, let's see, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th pin. So 1 outside to the 4th pin. So let's go ahead and take a look. 1 outside to the 4th pin. I think I've got that. Good Lord, can that be possible? Can I actually be getting it that? Yeah, that is it. How is this possible? How can I be having such an easy go of it this time? Probably just sending me down to quicker defeat here. All right, so now we're going to shift over 1 and then another one. So this one is going to be the same way. It's going to be 1 off of the other one. So we're going to go here. We're going to start on number 2 and go over to number 6. So we just want to make sure that we're shifted. I'm sorry, I said 2, I meant 1. So 1, and then we're going to be skipping 3, and we're going to be stabbing into the one right next to our buddy there, which we can see there. They're 1 apart from each other. So yes, we've got those properly done. Wow. And the final resistor. The final resistor is going to be shifted over 1 from that one. So it's not much of a change there. So we're going to go over here and we're going to put it in right there and there. I think that is it. So let's take a look. So we have it going into the second one, which is shifted. So it's one shift, shift, shift. And over here, we've got shift, shift, and shift. Yep. So we've got all these going into the right places. Wow. I'm gonna give myself a pat on the hand there. Oh, that was good. Now we start putting in wires all over the place. So let's start with a long white wire. So I'm gonna pull up a long white wire here and run this one. So this one is gonna go, we've got our power in over here. So we're gonna start with pin 21 here. So we're gonna go over here, we're gonna get to pin 21, and that is the one right there, right next to our ground. And this is going to go over to the chip, but it's going to go to the right-hand side. It's going to go to the third one from the right. So the third from the right here. And I'm going to do these down closer to the chip itself, so it'll be a little bit easier to see, separated from the power. So 1, 2, 3, right there. So that is where it should go. So boom, we've got that set up. So now next one we're going to do is pin, we've just done 21. Let's do pin 20, and we're going to run that one over to 1 to the side of it. So this one is supposed to be a gray one. So instead of gray, I'm going to use a black one. And of course, the colors do not matter here. I just try to use black when I can for grounding, for ground, and I try to use red for the power. So I just think that's a good thing to do. It helps keep me sane. So so we're going to take this, we're going to go 1 to the side of our white pin that we just put in. So that's going to go over here, and this is really hard to see, so I'll pull it up so you can see it right there. So we're going to put it in right there. Hello, there. So we've got that in. So those are side by side. Those are GPIO buddies. So now we're going to skip down to pin 18. We're going to run 18 to the IC chip 3 from the left. So let's make this one a blue one. So we're going to go to pin 18. And pin 18 is right there. So pin 18, we're going to run this 3 from the right. So if we look over here, we've got 1, 2, 3. So it lines up with our buddies. Or if it'll go in, there it goes in. Okay, so that's in. So the next one we're going to do is pin 17. So these are getting to the controls for the these are getting to the controls for the deciding which pin which LED we're lighting up. So for this one, I'm going to use, for some reason, don't seem to have long ones. I'll just use this one here. It's another black one. I apologize. I'd like to use these for ground, but I'm not going to use it. So we need to go into pin, who am I going to? There's 17. So let's see, pin 17 right here. So we're going from 17. We're going to run this one. 17 runs over to the, let's see, the 1, 2, 3, 4th pin over on here. So we're going 4 pin. We're going to use that top line. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4 right here. So this is, again, what we call plug and pray. We pray that that is where it's supposed to go. So now we're going to do pin 16. We'll use maybe a blue for this. So we're going to go to pin 16 here and plug that in. Hold on, let me just bring it up close for you to see. So go in, plug it into 16 right there. Now that we've gotten 16, where is 16 going to go? Well, 16 is going to go over to just about the middle. Hold on, let me see if that is the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th pin from the left. So we've got this one in the 4th pin, so it'll be 3 off of that. 1, 2, and 3. So it should go in right there. think I'm doing that right. Hold on. 1, 2, 3 over, and that means it's going to be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 one from the right. Let me count that off on the charts. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I have got that correct. Yay for me. All right, so now we've got the top ones done over here. Now let's do the bottom side because we've got 2 control pins over on that side. So I'm going to use some red ones here. I think these are red. I've got bad lighting in my apartment, as you can see. So we'll start at pin 14, and we'll pin 14 right there. And now that we've got 14, we're going to run 14 over to, let's see, 14 is going to go over to our, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4th pin over from the bottom right. So 4th pin over from bottom right. That's why we left this one open. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. So that's where that one's going. If I can just get it in, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to do that pin 15. Pin 15, we'll use a blue. So pin 15, we'll use a blue one. So we're going to go pin 15 right there. If I can do that. I'm having some trouble stabbing here. Oh, there we go. All right, so 15. And where's 15 going? Well, let's take a look. 15 is going, oh my gosh, 15 is going on a trip all the way to the top. So it's going all the way up here. And it's going to go beside our buddy that we just plugged in up on the top. So it's going in and using blue here. That's going to be kind of confusing. But it's going into the one, let me just make sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th pin over. Let me check the diagram because we want to make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is correct. Got that going to the right place. So now we have our wiring here done. We've got our wiring on the top done. So we've got all our GPIOs going to where they need to go. Now we need to hook up our integrated chip to this one over here. And that's where we're going to be using our connections to the resistors. So let's go ahead and see where this is going. Hold on, let me see, is this a proper mess already? Yeah, I've got those going in. We've got 3 coming in from over there. So yep, we've got all that. Okay, so we're gonna take a look. First, there's 1 pin. We're gonna do, we've got pretty much all the top done. What we need to, the top of the IC chip, we need to do 1 more pin, and that's going to be, I think it's like pin 15 they call it, but we're going to have to run that one over to one of our resistors over here. So let's go ahead and put this in. I'm better use a mid-size for this one. So let me pull up a mid-size pin. Where have all my mid-size pins gone? I don't think I've been eating these things, but huh. All right, so let's put in on the 2nd pin over. So I know this looks like a rat's nest. Let's pull it up here so we can see a little bit better. I'll put it right there. So we're going from that pin over to dun dun dun. We're going to go down here to the bottom one, this guy right here, and we're going to be plugging it into the 1st pin. So that is going to be in, let's see, the 1st, 2nd position. Yeah, 2nd position on the pin 2. So it's going into right here. So this is where that goes. So that, yep, 2nd pin. That's correct. So now we've got the upper one done. Now we're going to go to the bottom. So the bottom, we'll start with the 1st pin. That's going to go, that's a longer one. And I don't like using red, but we're going to use red here. And we'll take that from pin 1 on the bottom left. Let's hold this up so we can see it better. So we're going to go pin 1 right there. We're going to run it all the way over to the very 1st pin over here. So it goes over to pin 1 right there. All right, so it's a red wire confusing with the other red wire. Not good here, not good, but I'll deal with that later. So now we're going to take pin 2, and let's use another red one because why not? So we're going to go from pin 2 on the chip, and this is going to go, yeah, let's go ahead and stab it close to the chip itself to get it, well, let's try over here. Let's just do pin 2, stab it right there. Now this one is going to go over to, yeah, that's, actually, let me stab that closer to the thing because it's going to make a difference really. So if we hold this up and we look at it, we put it into pin 2, and I really do hate having spaghetti like this, but it's going to go into the first, actually that's the second pin, but we're going to put it into second one right here, second pin on there, but that should correspond with, yeah, the first one on that jumper. Yep, so that's correct. So we've got that done. So now we're going to do the next pin on the chip. So we're going to go and we're going to connect. Why do I only have short jumpers at this point? Let me use a, I'll use a blue jumper now. So let's see, I'll take this blue jumper. What pin are we working on? We just did the second pin. So let's do the third pin. So the third pin is going to go, well, let's just punch the third pin right now. So we're going to go from pin 1, 2, 3 right here. This is pin 3. If it'll go in, or okay, got pin 3 in. 1, 2, 3, that's it. And pin 3 is going to go 1, 2, 3. That's going to go over to the first pin of our over here. Hold on. So it's going to go to the yeah, so it's going to go the one that's off 1 right there. So it's going to go right there. Yep. So this is where we're stabbing in. So yep, this is pin 1. This is right before pin 1. So that's the jumper. So we're going to hit that one. So then the fourth wire, the fourth pin over here, the fourth pin over here is going to be running over to 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to run over to the second pin over here. So let's go ahead and get that one lined up. Let's use a green for this. So again, let me take 4. So 4 right there. Wow, that was a spectacular miss. I'll just hold it up here so we can all see it. And that goes into 4. Then 4 goes 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to go over into the second one here. So it's really just going to go 1 off of where I just plugged in. So the first pin essentially. Good. So we've got that done. Now the next one, we'll just feed over. We'll use an orange here. So I'm going to use an orange right there. Where is that orange one go? Hold on. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, it's going to go to the next one over here. Hold on. I'm getting a little bit crowded. Let me pull that because I have forgotten where I am. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to look here. What chip, what line of the chip am I on? Got 1, 2, 3, 4 done. I'm looking at 5. So I'm looking at the 5th pin. So I stab pin 5. And pin 5 here corresponds with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the one going over here. Oh, that's going to go to the first pin over on here, actually. So that's going to go in the second one right here. So this is where that's going. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and put that in. Wait, that is not looking good. Okay, sorry. So that is going to go into pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get a second pin over. So that's pin 1. This is the second pin right there. So this is where we're wanting to go. Good. Okay, so now let's look at the 6th pin. 6th pin is, wow, that's going to go all the way around. So let's get a longer one right here. So pin 6. Let's take that, and this one's going to run over to the side here. And this is going to go to right here. So this is going to be lining up with our resistor right there. Good resistor. Okay. So now that we've got that one done, we're going to do another short one. So our next one plugs into, let's see, wow, what a rat's nest this is. We're going into the second one from the left. So we're going to go over, let's try to put down through here. Da, 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 da. Here. Wow, how deep does that go? Okay, right there. So that's it. I'll just put it right here, stabbed in. So we're going for the second one. So we're going to go from the second one over, and we're going to put that up onto the first. Hold on, let me see. Yes, this is going to go into the first row of here. So we're going to put into right there, essentially. Yep. So that's right in line with the transistor. What am I saying? Transistor. Bleh. It's going with the resistor. So that gives us that. And then our next one over, we already plugged in. That goes to ground. So now we've got our IC chip finished here. I think that is finished. Well, let me see if I'm missing any cables here. So I believe this is correct. So let me count my cables. Oh, can we even count them? I mean, isn't this a mess? Yeah, it is. Wow. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm not going to count that. There's just too much. This is Where's Waldo. So I just want to make sure I don't have anything lined up off of each other. Yeah, so these look good. And I've got the 1, 2, 3 lines over here. That looks good. The 2 over here, good. I've got 2 lined up over there, another one up here, 2 more over here. Yep, everybody's covered. This one's got it. Okay, I think that we're done here. So now let's plug this puppy up and smell for bacon. Nothing is coming on. That's either good or bad. I don't know which. So now I'm going to pull up our code. And I don't think, yeah, I do have that on here. Don't think I need to add any other code in. So let me pull up our code real quick. Hold on, bear with me just a second. So I'm opening up the code. And I need to connect to Pico, but I'm going to have to go up to the command palette. I'm not showing this because I don't see any point in doing this. We've done this before, but I need to go to Hold on. I'm having issues. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. Hold on just a second. Okay, pardon for that interruption. I had to get something worked out in VS Code. Now I'm going to try hitting the play button. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. I have got the entirely different. I've opened up the wrong folder, which is why I'm having trouble here. So bear with me. I need to open up 15.2. Alrighty, I've opened up 15.2 here, and once I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead and going to have to go to the command palette. And if you ever don't see your Pico connected, go up to View, Command Palette, and click on the Configure Project. Then it'll go Pico connected, Pico disconnected, then it'll go to connected. Then you can run your software. And as you can see here, we're getting 0, 1, 2, 3. And the 0, 1, 2, 3 here is what we're expecting. Let me go and see real quick. All right, so we've got our 0, 1, 2, 3 coming up. So this is as we had expected. But remember, what's happening here is you're displaying this thing so quickly that it's going from, actually, this is, oh, it mentioned this, the glowing light aspect of it. So if you look and you kind of cup your hands over it, it kind of has a, I believe this is what I was talking about. Yeah, it's going so fast that it looks like it's glowing as it goes through the numbers there. That's because it's cycling through it and lighting them up each one and after the other. So do something, do this in a dark room. Actually, let me experiment by cutting out my lights. You can see it a little bit better there, but you see how it kind of glows and it's shifty in a way. This is, I think, what it was talking about, where it's looping through and lighting up one after the other, but you can see it kind of shifting between them as it goes through there. So anyhow, this is, thank God, a success. We've been able to go through here and to look at this. I'm wondering, there's a there's a sleep function in here, and I'm kind of thinking about playing around with that just to see what happens if we play around with it. But yeah, I'll just leave it alone for now. But this is pretty cool. If you have any trouble with this, let me know. But essentially, all we're doing is we're looping through, and we're going and we're looping through the 4 numbers. We're putting it up. We're sleeping for a minute. We're clearing it for just a second. And doing that, it kind of makes it look like it's kind of glowing between the different numbers there. So that's really cool. So it's hard to perceive. You can see it in my video here, but it's best if you have the lights dimmed down a little bit and you kind of take a look at that. But yeah, neat effect. So this is 15.2. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'd love to help out. But anyways, good luck. This is a rat's nest of wiring here. This is really confusing. So be careful. The main thing to make sure is that you don't have your power and ground mixed up, because power and ground, ground to power, that makes for a very bad day. You can miss your wiring here and it won't fry it for the most part. But yeah, just be careful when you're doing it. You heard me over and over counting the number of pins over and, checking my diagram. Just do that. And I think if you work slowly, you're going to have success with this. But it may take a couple whacks at it, but I think you'll do it. If you have any trouble, just reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you. So have a wonderful day. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.